The boss saw the delivery woman rushing toward the manager, slightly out of breath as she said, "Boss, here is your takeout." But the manager snapped, "You're late, and the food is cold. How am I even supposed to eat this?" The old woman said softly, "Boss, the elevator was broken. I had to climb all the way from the first floor to the 18th just to get here." The girl, clearly angry, said, "So what if the elevator is broken? Couldn't you just climb faster?" The woman could only lower her head and apologize again and again, but the girl, still upset, said she was going to leave a bad review. This left the woman feeling crushed and heartbroken, and the boss stood there quietly, seeing and hearing everything. She then walked up to the manager. "Can you take this contract to the client on the first floor and get it signed right away?" The girl agreed without thinking much, but then she suddenly remembered the elevator wasn't working, which meant she had no choice but to take the stairs. Just as she was about to reach the first floor, her legs already aching, the boss called and said, "The client just left. Don't bother getting the contract signed." Tired and completely drained, the girl slowly made her way back up, but just as she was about to hand over the contract, the boss said, "The client just called. He's waiting downstairs." The girl, clearly worn out, said, "Boss, how about we get it signed tomorrow? I just went from the 18th floor to the first and back. I'm exhausted." But the boss looked at her firmly and said, "Just get it signed. Hurry up and go." So the girl forced herself to go downstairs again, her steps slower this time, her energy almost gone. But halfway there, the boss called again and said, "Oh, I forgot. I need to sign it first. Can you bring it back up?" The girl, now barely able to keep going and dragging her feet step by step, returned and handed the contract to the boss. But this time, the boss said coldly, "What's the point of signing it now? You're moving so slowly. The client already left." The girl, frustrated and on the verge of tears, said, "But boss, the elevator is broken." But the boss cut her off and said, "Can't you walk faster?" The girl tried to explain, but the boss looked straight at her and said, "Now you realize how exhausting and time-consuming it is to go from the 18th floor to the first? So next time, think twice before you say anything hurtful to a delivery woman." The girl, still unwilling to accept it, said, "Boss, she's just a delivery woman. That's her job. Was all of this really necessary?" But the boss's voice turned firm as she said, "You still want to argue? Haven't you learned your lesson yet? If you think you're better than everyone else, then please leave my company immediately." The girl, stunned and desperate, said, "Boss, I didn't do anything wrong." The boss looked at her one last time and said, "That's right, keep telling yourself that." So friends, should the boss fire the girl?